You ever just sitting in the car, waiting on a loved one? Man, that was me today. But dang, did this Powkiddy X55 come in clutch. I don't prefer the game on a touchscreen. Wow, it's such a gorgeous day today. I couldn't help myself. I had to throw on my spandex and make my way to the park so I could get some yoga practice in. But on my way, I happened to see this wild X55 and I couldn't help myself. I had to retrieve it. And immediately, I took it and unboxed it so that I could gaze on its glory. Oh my god, this thing is beautiful. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't wild. This device was sent to me by Go Game Geek. And needless to say, all opinions in this video are my own and no money exchanged hands. If you would like to pick one up, go ahead and visit their website. They have a 10% off site-wide with the code RG99. The model I am looking at came with a 256GB SD card. Moving right into the hardware on this device, the D-pad is good. I feel it is more than adequate. It is a little bit sensitive, but it's good enough. The joysticks are great. The face buttons work very well. They are membrane, but they have a sort of tactile feel, and my fingers don't get caught up in between them. The joysticks definitely make this device. As far as the face buttons, volume up, volume down, start and select, and the triggers, I'll just call it a mechanical keyboard style click. They are a little clicky. Moving on to the I/O, we have the reset button, 3.5mm headphone jack, DC OTG, HDMI, host, and power. And on the bottom of the device, we have our stereo downward firing speakers, our TF1, our TF2, and our other speaker. Here, I posted up the specs of the device. You can go ahead and pause it and check them out. I'm not going to read them to you, of course. Come on. Now, as far as the looks, I got the green model here, and it's a very beautiful handheld. The plastic is classic Powkiddy plastic. It doesn't feel bad. It has some little humps on the back, or grips, and it makes it very, very comfortable for longer play sessions. But what I will say for sure is that the screen on this device is what makes it, absolutely gorgeous. There is a sound test coming in 3, 2, 1. I know what you're thinking, and yes, it's loud enough so that I don't have to hear my kids choke slamming each other in the next room. Now, don't get caught up in the weeds. Let's get back to the device. So my unit happens to be the new variant of the X55 from Powkiddy, which includes an onboard eMMC and Jellos instead of Amberleg. And I know some of you guys may be concerned because Jellos dropped support for Rockchip's devices, but thankfully we have the Rocknix team who specifically picked up support for the X55 and other Rockchip devices. So if you like to explore and try out different operating systems, I can say that Rocknix has been a pleasurable experience on this device. And I also happen to know that if you look hard enough out there, there's an Android build for the X55, which is also, from what I know, to be pretty good. So the Jellos build that came on this device has been rock solid. Straight away, right out of the box, I was able to just pick it up and start playing games. It's absolutely loaded. Like I said earlier, I got the 256GB model, and the ROMs list is great. I have zero complaints. I did add a few things, mainly ports, but other than that, it's been phenomenal. And there's thousands and thousands of games on this thing. And like I said, all you do, take out this SD card, grab you a 256 of a reputable company if you feel the need to do so, and copy this stuff right over. And all of a sudden, you have a very, very reliable device ready to go off the gate. And it looks good and runs great. I connected this thing to HDMI with a controller and it connected right away, no problem. And I was all of a sudden taken back to just sitting on my couch as a kid playing Nintendo. I'm going to show you here shortly. But first, I want to show you some of the box art. As you can see, In Sega Genesis 32X, everything is scraped. The box art is gorgeous, and the IPS display only enhances it. I don't like when box art leaves a lot of the screen uninhabited, but this one has done a really good job at just having it right in your face. On to gameplay. I wanted to capture some performance for you, just to show you how great this device is. First thing I'm showing is HDMI out, SNES Zombies Ate My Neighbor. I'm playing this with an external 8-bit DOE SN30 Pro controller, and I completely lost track of time while playing this. I'm only sharing you a snippet, but I can tell you one thing. This device will be used as a console in my house. Gran Turismo 2 on PlayStation 1. This thing can run on a literal potato. And if your device can't run it, what are you doing? N64 Mario Kart. Ran flawlessly. I really had a good time getting some races in here. You know, of course, I win every time because I'm the best gamer that ever lived, but that's needless to say. So Cruis'n USA is where this device shows us that it can't quite handle every N64 game. It is playable, but there is some audio stutter, and I just want you to be mindful of that. Now let's talk about NDS on the X55. This is Pokemon White, and being able to have both screens on the display at the same time has become my favorite way to play NDS. It emulates it perfectly, and I don't want you to be concerned about my team here. I had a very lucky playthrough and just happened to catch all of these guys on Route 1, and I was just very lucky. Okay? No rebuttals on my team. Now, Sega Saturn, Guardian Heroes, it played flawlessly, and it looks absolutely amazing. I cannot lie. I mean, this screen, the saturation, popping. This was actually because of a viewer of mine, Digital Deadeye, a very nice guy. He said, "You never play Star Warbs. I bet you think you neighbors throw rocks through your window to hear your voice, loser." Well, I played a Star Warbs game today for you, and if that's you throwing those rocks through my window, please stop. Please. I don't like it. Next, PSP Monster Hunter Portable the Third. I have to say, at first, I was kind of concerned to play PSP games on this device, but after experiencing this game here, I was blown away. The widescreen is perfect for PSP play, and the fact that I can remap buttons because this is an emulator allowed me to play this game like a normal human being. I mapped the D-pad controls to the right stick, so now my camera can be moved appropriately, and it was great. So I wanted to show you a bit of God of War on PSP, because it is one of the hardest games to run. I had to mess with the settings a little bit, but I did get it to a playable state, so just keep that in mind when it comes to PSP games, that not all games will run flawlessly, but a lot of the catalog will. Moving on to TMNT, Turtles in Time on SNES, I wanted to go ahead and show you guys that the thing with these widescreen devices is that you could remove the bezels and stretch it out, and the stretch doesn't look bad. At least on SNES and Genesis, I actually appreciate being able to use more real estate of the screen, and it actually looks really, really good to me. I might be an outlier because I refuse to put my glasses on, but in my eyes, it looks good. So here, I'm running Sonic and Knuckles on Sega Genesis, and I did change the shaders up a bit. I added an LCD shader, and as you can see, it looks phenomenal, and it played just as good. GBA Mega Man Zero, this is one of my favorite all-time catalogs. I love Game Boy Advance and the amount of games and the variety of games that it has. Because of the aspect ratio of GBA, it is perfect on a widescreen device. We have some CPS2 GigaWing, and I'm starting to value more and more arcade games. Just the type of gameplay, I do love space shooters, and the vibrancy and the colors. This GigaWing looks absolutely amazing on IPS. I decided to throw in a bit of ports here, and here we have Axiom Verge, and man, no lie, having ports on these types of devices just changes everything. GTA Vice City ran flawlessly, and it is much better aesthetically than the PSP variant of GTA. So if you end up picking up an X55, please do myself and yourself a favor and put some ports on there because it will change your life. Last but not least, we have Stardew Valley. I know I don't have to say much. You guys know. It's a great game, and it's playable on a great device. I've really enjoyed the time that I've spent playing on the X55, and in closing, I just want to say, this device right here is an amazing device. I am very much impressed. For about $100, what you get is a super comfortable device capable of playing a ton of different systems. It's extremely comfortable, and it has a very good ROM set right out of the box. Who do I not think this is for? Maybe if you're looking for something pocket friendly, because it is a bit big. And if the clicky shoulders rub you the wrong way, stay away. But that's it for me. This is Too Loud Tech. You're here listening to a friend. I'm out. Peace.